Welcome back to the Talk Cut podcast, and we are at the Exeter ELEX Show, and of course we are joined by Will and Jay, who are manning the Navitas stand all the way behind there.
We are.
And I'm lone manning this podcast stand.
Yeah, great stuff. So,
What was that?
That's my attempt at singing. I'm not actually Welsh. I can't sing.
Okay, well, I can't either, so...
Oh, you've got a little Tom Jones in you, just a little bit.
right, so in terms of the show today, expectations?
Can I say?
Yeah, I mean, hey, yes, it's our show. You can tell if you
be
want.
honest. Yeah, you can
Same
be.
shit, different show?
Wow. He went in. Okay.
No, in a good way.
Hi, Colin. Hi, Hamerville.
No, I
Thanks for
mean...
giving us this space to do our show.
I mean, in a good way. Like, it's... No, I think the last one was actually quite well in terms of the podcast.
I thought the Ali Pally was brilliant. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So I didn't mean it in like a...
In a
It's
negative
the same
way.
shit. Like,
yeah.
you know, it's a good...
We'll do the same things. We'll have
Yeah.
the same conversations. We'll just do it with different people.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have said that a bit different. Yeah, sorry.
I think, though, in terms of, well, what's clearly different is that...
Yeah, massive chip hazard when you work for them.
That's a good one. That was a good one. But I think what's evidently clear when comparing this to the Ali Pally is the size. Like, so
Yeah,
to get
it's
to the
tiny.
back of the hall, it took me about a minute. Like the Ali Pally was...
Yeah, it was a
quite
20-minute
long.
toilet break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's a smaller show. It's covering less people as well. I mean, Ali Pally's central London, isn't it? So you've got a
100%.
massive catchment. It's down the southwest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of green fields. There's not, the population's... You don't need a massive show. You're not going to get that sort of footfall.
Exactly.
Although there seems to be people walking around.
Yeah, what's the
Yeah.
time now? 10:05. So yeah, they're already coming in. Hopefully it's a good show, let's be honest. See what we can get on the podcast. I think we got one booked in already, haven't we?
Yeah, I think Theo's coming down today as well.
Oh, is
Nice.
he?
Yeah.
Is this his area, is it?
Yeah, so I think he's Devon. I know he uses Devondale at the wholesaler, which would
I know
mean
he's
he's based
southwest
in
based.
Devon.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's around Somerset way, I think.
Yes. Yeah. So that'd be good as well.
Yeah.
He's obviously been a
Yeah, he's
member
been
on
a
the
guest.
podcast.
We haven't actually
Yeah.
put his episode out yet. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. Which was a good one as
Will
well.
is like backed up now, and yeah.
Mate,
But
I've got so much to do.
it would have been handy if you could have got some of these ones out from the Ali Pally. So if people commented what to do, different stuff.
Yeah.
But here we are. We've got Harrogate.
I got one out.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
The first one we actually filmed.
we got Harrogate. It's next month.
Yeah, it's
Harrogate's
in
next
like
month.
3
Yeah.
weeks.
Is it? I think it's the end of May.
No, 15th and 16th of May, Harrogate is.
Oh,
It's
is it
right in the middle
actually?
of the month. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it really does
Brilliant.
make things quite challenging. Yeah. So we'll get some of these things edited anyway. But I think we need to let James crack on.
Yep.
And if you are in the area of Harrogate on the 15th and 16th, and I do manage to get this out beforehand, come and say hello. If not, we'll see you at Coventry.
All right.
Right, James, good luck. He looks keen. He looks keen. He's gone. Right. Right, on that note, love, peace, hair grease.
There you go, guys.
Thank you.
That's fucking funny, man.
Right, welcome back, guys. I'm a bit down, yeah. We've just been recording for 10 minutes.
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't been recording for 10 minutes. We've been talking for 10 minutes because someone forgot to click the record button. But anyway, we're going to go again. I'm joined by Theo Webster, and I'll let you introduce yourself again.
I'm well versed now. So yeah, I'm Theo Webster from Theo Webster Electrical Services. You'll find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and under Theo Webster Electrical.
So we've been basically talking about Theo's been going out on his own since, what you said, 20? Was it?
22.
22. Like, that's young, and we've been talking about, like, the stress, because to work your way up and you had 13 boys working for you, and you're saying that was, like, the hardest time you've had working for yourself. And we've just been talking about the magic number of 5 people.
Yeah.
And why is the 5 people the magic number for working for yourself?
Yeah, so I think 5 to 6 works quite well because you can manage it relatively easily on your own without having to bring in admin staff and whatever else. And it keeps the numbers manageable as well in terms of finances, because it can very quickly escalate.
In terms of wages and stuff?
Well, wages and fuel and everything else, it just gets a bit mad.
Yeah, I can imagine. When you're saying the admin, was you doing all that yourself with the invoice quoting still, or did you have someone else?
Yeah, so when I had the 13 working for me, I was doing everything.
How you was no way you was on the tools as well, sure?
Yeah, I was on the tools every day. Yeah, so I was on site. So the lads would meet me at my place at 6:30. We'd drive to site and we'd get back normally around 6:30 again, and then I'd be on ordering materials, wages on payroll day and everything else.
How long was you doing that for?
I did that for about 3 years at that
3
size.
years doing that?
Yeah.
Your life must have been just work.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
Holy, hats off, because I don't think I could deal with that kind of stress. And I think that's where I'd fail being a company owner, especially having that many boys. I just never been able to shut off, like constant.
Looking back, it was good. I learned so much, but it was so stressful. It has a massive negative impact on your personal life.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Huge. But it's hard to let go. People say, why don't you just get somebody else in? It's really hard to let go of the reins and have someone, because you're trusting somebody completely. Even just doing payroll, they could muck that up easily. Yeah. Or I almost swore, I didn't.
I think we're allowed. So.
Shit, this is good. No, this is good. But it's it was definitely a really stressful time.
Yeah.
But good as well. Like I said, I've come away having learned how to manage people better, manage money better and all that. Because on that job, so on the big job when I had 13, I've talked about this in the podcast, we'll touch on it briefly, but I got a load of the contractors went bust. So I was the smallest contractor on site. It was a £200 million project.
Shit.
And I'd taken on a sixth of the site of the electrical contract.
Okay.
And it was mad. I'd gone straight in at the deep end on that. It was insane.
Is the money good though? You don't have to obviously take figures, but is it worth it in terms of money?
It is.
Looking back now?
The trouble is, the higher those figures, the risk is massive.
Yeah.
It is make or break.
You can bite off more than you can chew.
100%. Yeah, and so like I said, they end up going bust, owing me loads of money, and that is completely out of my control.
There's nothing you can do.
Absolutely nothing you can do. Yeah, so you just have to sit back and accept the fact that they owe me 60 grand and I'm never going to see that because they've liquidated the company and there's no money to pay me from. I go down as a creditor and that is just how it sits. So then I still have to look at it and say, Christ, I still need to pay lads' wages, I still need to pay for materials out of my own pocket now. Yeah. So I'm actually £120,000 down.
Jesus.
It's mad.
Fair play to you, and people who are doing it, it's I openly admit I think I'd fail at getting to that size. You never know until you're in the situation, but I can imagine that is so difficult. And I think what you're doing now, even just with one person, that is just so much better. Yeah, you've probably got your client base, you've got the work coming in, nice money coming in, I can imagine, and just comfortable.
Yeah. In the last sort of 12 months, I've had a lot go on in my life. I'm quite open about it on Insta and that. So me and my wife separated.
Yeah. Sorry,
No, it was a good thing. It was a good thing to come, for both of us really. We've been together a long time. It should have ended. But,
shit happens.
Yeah,
in life,
does.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it's never great, but so I've been running my business for 9 years now, and I look back and I think, Christ, one, I missed so much time with my daughter. Yeah. And two, I just lost my personal life completely. Yeah. You lose touch with friends because you're always working.
Just always working.
And everything else. So, now I'm sort of living my 20s in my 30s and I'm just doing what I want.
Never.
It's great. I'm loving life. So that's half the reason why I sort of scaled it all back over the last couple of years. So I went from 13, I went down to about 5 or 6, the magic number. Yeah. And we're doing quite nicely. And then it just became more a case of I don't really want to do that. So I just slowly brought it down to 3. So I had a guy called Chris, who's still with me now, a guy called Sebastian, and a guy called Luke, and they're all great. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. They're all super loyal, work hard, and just, That's
exactly what you want, I can imagine, as a company owner.
Literally,
What's your, favourite work in what you do? I've always said, commercial, industrial is my favourite. Do you prefer domestic, commercial?
Commercial is always going to be the preferred. I like to think of myself as quite good with a bit of steel conduit.
Yeah, the conduit man, is it?
Yeah, literally, I love doing a bit of steel work and that, so definitely,
I find with doing steel conduit, like, so I can go through a stage where you do loads of it, and then you won't do any for ages.
Absolutely, yes.
And then you need a few days to come back up
Yeah,
to scratch,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
you're cooking there, and you're doing.
Yeah. No, it's totally
if
true.
you chuck me a bit of conduit now, like, just give me half hour. Let me go watch some videos again now, and then I can do all right then. But it is nice doing like steel conduit tray stuff like. What about the boys? Do they prefer domestic or commercial as well?
Chris is probably more domestic orientated because he has been. So Chris is about to turn 50.
Okay.
But he's done most. He used to do a lot of shop fitting when he was younger.
Oh, right.
But again, that was different. But when he was doing it, like in the 90s, it was like sling it in.
Get it.
Like above the suspended ceiling.
That's who's doing it all, is it?
It was Chris, yeah. But,
that's nothing worse in offices. You lift up some tires, just data cables slung out. You're like, where do I even start with this?
Yeah,
Don't even zip tie it to them, or you got to try and get some tray in. Nah, fair play. Where do you see the electrical industry in like 10 years? With your business, whatever you're doing, where do you see yourself? I know that's quite a time away, but if you had to imagine it, what are you seeing?
Where do I see myself or the industry?
Bit of both. So I imagine you're going to go with it. Well, it could give me both. Where do you see yourself, or where do you see the industry?
So for myself, whether I'm still doing, Theo Webster Electrical Services, I don't know. I said to you before, I don't know if it was in this take or the one we didn't record, but I love being an electrician. I do genuinely enjoy what I do, but at the same time, I fall out of love with it every now and then. I think we all do.
That's mad you say that, because I'm finding recently I'm in a bit of a rut.
Yeah, we all get there.
I feel like it's work now at the minute, not where I was going into work. I'm happy, like, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy it, but it's like, another day.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm probably in what you're saying is a rut. Like,
no, definitely. Over the years, I've had massive up and downs with it. I've almost shut down the business loads of times. So it was like, no, tomorrow, that's it, it's gone. Yeah, screw this.
Go to stack shelves.
But, yeah, literally, yeah. So, but, project management sits quite nicely with me. Having run a big team. So I keep, again, I go over it in the podcast, but I broke my back 3 years ago.
Oh, never.
In 3 places. So I'm not going to be able to do the physical side of the job forever.
Okay.
Because it does give me issues. So I'm trying to set myself up now in terms of qualifications and things so that I can move into project management quite comfortably.
Would that be for your own company though? Or?
I don't know. We'll see. I get job offers all the time as project manager.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Or is it checking the mail? Or maybe?
Good money as well. It's good money, but it's like it's just not what I want to do right now. But at some point in the future, probably.
Oh, at least you kind of got an idea of what you want to do.
Yeah.
I suppose. What about like, where do you see the electrical industry going?
I mean, obviously renewables is just going to get massive, isn't it? That's an obvious one. I think the innovation within that is going to be insane. I think it's going to be mind-blowing, the stuff we're going to see coming through. But I don't know, really. I mean, they keep talking about this skills shortage.
Yeah.
I saw a post, actually, don't quote me on the numbers, but I think it's something like the amount of tradespeople, not just electricians, tradespeople retiring this year, with what are coming into the industry, there's a shortfall of 60,000 people.
Really?
So, that's
a lot.
That's a lot. That is a lot. I don't know how many Sparkies and that would be across the UK.
I don't know, but 60,000.
It seems to be about a million in my area. It's like a lot of competition.
Yeah.
But, so if we see that year on year over the next few years, you're going to have this massive, which I don't care, because that means I'm going to be busy.
Yeah, I was just about to say, so that's going to mean the skilled tradesmen are going to thrive and have more work, better pay.
Absolutely.
They're going to be wanted more.
Yeah.
Whereas, say, the ones that are not as good or whatever, if there's work, there's work. If there's no electricians, the demand's going to be massive, so there's going to be more money, surely. Am I right in thinking about that?
You'd like to think so. Yeah, it was. It's demand, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. If you own all the chickens in the UK, you can charge what you want.
I suppose the only thing I can see with it, if there's a skill shortage because there's not enough electricians and they're trying to push more through, the skill level is going to go down, which means work.
Potentially. You do have that risk, I suppose. Yeah, the quality of work will reduce.
That's what, and so we got an issue now, I think, at the minute with people slinging in stuff, especially with say car chargers and all. People just doing like car charging courses and then putting in a car charger, and then like good electricians are missing out on that work now because people are chucking it in.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I maybe see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I suppose it depends what jobs there is. And
That is one thing I don't agree with in the industry at the moment. The fact that the companies, you see all the big players here, Octopus, EDF, all these massive players that are suppliers are now doing the install as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not right. So they're training in-house. They're training people specifically to do that one role. Yeah, so they're not electricians. They've done a solar course or they've done an EV course or whatever, and but they've not been through that arduous process of an apprenticeship where you learn how to install nicely and properly. And they are, that's not. Don't get me wrong, they're not all like that. There's bound to be some great installers at Octopus or whoever. But the vast majority of what you see online is absolute rubbish.
No, I've seen a lot of it. There's a lot of bad stuff out there. But it's like you say, you can't say everyone's in that boat, but there is a lot of it.
Yeah, I just don't think it's right that they are in a position where they can sort of monopolise on it. They are the supplier and installer, and they can then do internal deals on that as well. I think it's wrong.
That's how they do it. Like, I don't know loads about it, but what I can see is like they're offering cheap installs to get them on their provide
on the tariffs,
basically. So then the electricians then are suffering because
absolutely,
it's a bit bullshit, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It's not right. Yeah.
Is anything going to be done about it? Who knows, isn't it?
Well, no, because all the big wigs in government, they've got backhanders going on, haven't they?
Brown envelopes everywhere.
Literally, yeah.
All right, well, we'll end it there because I've stole a lot of your time because of my fuck up with not recording. But no, I appreciate you coming on. I'm looking forward to your podcast with Will and Jay coming out soon, hopefully. Will, sort your ideas out, mate. You've got loads to edit, get it done and get them out. But no, thank you for coming on and just say whatever you want to end it with. Yeah, well, thanks for watching. Obviously, make sure you check out the podcast. Check out your socials. Yeah, and my socials. Obviously, I expect loads of followers. But I've got to try and catch up with this one. Well, you can't be far off, surely. Oh, come on. Cheers. All right, cheers, guys. See ya. All right, welcome back, guys. We've got another guest, and I'd like you to introduce yourself and where you're from, what you do, and your company, etc.
Yeah. Hi, it's Richard Pugh. I am up from Newport in South Wales.
Hey, another Welshie, get in my area.
Exactly. I've just been chatting to the guys on the Navitas stand or whatever, just curious about the product and so on. Been an electrician since 2009, working for a company in Newport called Developments Plus. And we're probably, I would say, 90% commercial, a little bit of domestic. It's a nice environment, nice working.
How do you find working in Wales?
It's good.
It's all right, isn't it? I don't mind it. I've worked in England and stuff. Much prefer working in Wales. A lot more chilled. No, it's good. So, what challenges do you find, or what misconceptions is it that you find in the electrical industry?
How can you explain it? I think misconception, probably too strong a word for it, really, but I like to do a quality job at a quality price with a quality product, really. It's one of the reasons why I stopped here. Just curious. Historically, I've been Hager, those sort of brands, if you like, what I would call the Rolls-Royce of the... We don't do enough, or the company I'm working for now doesn't do a big percentage of domestic. So I've chosen Hager as my brand if I'm doing it for myself and so on. Obviously, I'm just chatting next door, and they're saying they've got, I don't know whether I'm allowed to say, the threyphase commercial stuff coming out sort of later on in the year. So I was curious how that's going to compare. Misconceptions. I don't know, give me some examples. What sort of have other people said? Or
pay, borderline pay. Like saying, people think if you're an electrician, you're going to be paid loads and loads of money. In some certain cases, I think you can.
Yeah.
But I think it is not as much as people think when they're getting into the industry. I'd say it's a bit of a misconception for me.
Yeah, I think the training route needs clarification a little bit, and so what's involved in that? You've got a lot of colleges saying they can turn you into an electrician in 5 days.
That's a good misconception.
Give us £1,000, need a spark next week. No.
We've spoke about that on the podcast before. There's no way you can learn to be an electrician
every day is a school day. Still learning now, 15 years, 20 years later, whatever it is. I
think you learn in these courses what brown is, what green and yellow, what blue is.
It's very similar to you don't learn to drive with the highway codes. You learn to drive when you're on the road and you're doing it. There's only so much you can sort of pick up in a classroom, and to think that you can transplant all that information in 5 days, it's not.
No. Have you fitted a Navitas board before? No.
I haven't done one yet, but I was chatting. I saw one of the podcasts when you were describing it a week or two ago, and then I was in our local wholesaler last week, and he said the rep had been through. I didn't even realise you were in Pencoed.
What wholesaler do you use?
So we're Templegate in Newport.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Yeah. It's quite good in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't mind Templegate.
I think we use. I would say 99% of what we get is from there, because we're predominantly commercial. So if you pop in and you need a sort of 3-phase board or a 3-phase isolator or something along those lines, or a contactor, it's off on the shelf, and we can get it.
When we need more control gear kind of stuff, that's where we go, is Templegate, because sometimes cities don't stock certain things, and Templegate usually have got more of that kind of stuff in stock. So they are they're a bit far for us to use as a everyday, but no, I don't mind Templegate. What do you enjoy most about being an electrician? How long have you been an electrician?
I did, long story short, I did 15 years with NatWest.
Oh, right.
I decided to retrain. I was
that's a bit
kitchens and bathrooms or whatever. I basically wanted to go. I was always doing kitchens and bathrooms, friends and family, DIY, that side of things. Enjoying the weekends more than the weeks. By the time I left NatWest, and then obtained a place at Coleg Gwent to get onto an electrical foundation course 2330. Asked NatWest if I could do 4 days a week to do my training, and they said no, not for an electrical qualification. If it was finance related, probably they would have. And I jacked it. I said, that's it, then I'm off. So I left NatWest on what I called at the time a month's worth of promises. I had a customer that said, or a friend of my wife that said they would let me do their bathroom if I finished, and a friend of mine in NatWest that said I could do my kitchen or his kitchen if I finished. So I jumped and took the plunge. So I worked 4 days a week for myself, 1 day a week in college for the first 3 odd years or whatever it was. Then did 2382, 2391, 234, 2399, 2377. Just worked through the City and Guilds tree. Sort of qualified, I suppose. Started at 2006. You could say came out sort of with all the qualifications I needed 2011. One of the things, because I went in as a mature student, I didn't have, if you like, was the apprenticeship background. And Coleg Gwent didn't do an NVQ, or AM2 for the mature student. So that was something that skipped my radar until 2 years ago, really. And the company that I'm with now, Developments Plus, they said, well, we'll pay for you to get your AM2 under your belt and your NVQ, and we did it that way. So. It's been obviously I enjoy the learning process. It's one of those things.
Glad you made that plunge.
If I had my time again, I'd have done it sooner. I think it's how can you put it? The trades weren't really. I did really well at GCSE in school, and then because of those results, school seemed to automatically want to steer me towards A-levels and university. Whereas looking back now, I think with a little bit more understanding on my part as well, I didn't really know at that age what I wanted to do. But if somebody had said, what about a trade, and I ever thought about being a plumber or ever thought about being an electrician, and had given me that career path, I think I'd have probably done it sooner, enjoyed it more, and I don't know, be in a different place now, if you like. I really enjoy where I am now, and every day is a different day. This is the variety. Turning up at NatWest for 15 years and doing the same thing day in, day out gets boring, but you never know what you're going to be faced with, fault finding, those sort of things. This was working yesterday and it's not now, and nothing's changed. It's like, well, something's happened.
No, I know what you mean. I've never done a different kind of job, so it's hard for me to say, but I just know that when I get up in the morning, we all go through ruts and ups and downs and stuff, but like you said, it's something different. You're out in the van, sometimes working with people. I think it's just a good, healthy job to do. You're fit then, well, not fit, but you're not sat down all day. You're up and about, you're doing stuff, and the variety. I think I've always said, like, being a tradesman is like a really good job. I think it's a good balance. But it's one of those, like, you're never going to be a millionaire unless you're very lucky. I doubt you're going to be a millionaire, be an electrician, but I think you can live a comfortable lifestyle. In my opinion, like. But no, that's a bit of a mad story, like. Yeah.
Well, I've always enjoyed being practical, working with my hands, tools.
Yeah.
Play drums a little bit, those sort of things, and an exhibition like this where you've got DeWalt and Makita and.
Yeah. I think it's cut. It's a bit dodgy, is it?
Yeah.
Speaking to it again a sec?
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah. So, I like seeing sort of the innovations that there's always somebody that's coming new to market that's got a bright idea, and you think, I thought of that 10 years ago, and I just didn't get the Dragon's Den.
I know, it could have been a millionaire now.
But it's just nice to keep fresh, if you like, and see the innovations that are coming through.
Do you do much on social media or anything like that, or is it do you stay away from a lot of that stuff?
Not so much. Because of the kitchen and bathroom background, I did a podcast style video with Skill Builder. I don't know if you know Roger Bisbee, but I did my own wet room last year. And he, because I was corresponding with him, sending him photos and so on, he said the same sort of thing. Would you mind having a sit-down chat or whatever? We just did a 20-minute or 40-minute Zoom call. Yeah. I edited it down to a 20-minute episode. And it's not one of those things I've really pushed from a podcast, but I do watch all the sort of the content creators, if you like.
Yeah.
Nick Bundy, yourself.
Yeah.
eFix. James Blatant or whatever doing his Dave Savage. It's just, you can pick something up from everybody because everybody's doing something different.
So obviously a lot of people, they either love it or hate it or whatever. Do you think social media is a good thing?
Yeah. There's
I don't know what that is.
Nothing bad. Really, it's. I'll see you, I think.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Don't know what's going on here. Technical issues.
It's a perfect resource for finding out information quickly, keeping up to date with stuff, those sort of things.
Yeah.
My YouTube history is all. Michelle will come downstairs. You're like, don't you ever get bored? I'm like, no. But it's just one of those easy way of keeping up to date with the industry.
Like, as an apprentice for me, when I used to watch like your Tom Nagy's, like you said, your Nick.
Yeah.
I learned so much because it's like being on site with someone else.
Yeah.
And it's like you're gaining experience when you're not even on site. I did find it really helpful. I don't watch as much these days, just time and whatever else. But that's good. Like,
well, it's one of the comments that Roger made when he was doing the Zoom call with me on sort of a description of my wet room process.
Yeah.
And he said, I watched your photos, I watched your little videos you send over. He said some of those things are crafty, and he said he's learned so. And he's like he's mid-60s or whatever, plumbing by trade. You can pick something above everybody, and so that's just a crafty way of doing it.
You want to try and do it yourself, then? You want to try and get on the social media? And
maybe one day. It's just one of those things, fitting the time in it, and having the customers that are willing to do that side of it. I think if it was more of a domestic scenario with my day-to-day, I think in a commercial environment,
it's
sometimes
difficult.
It is difficult.
I struggle to make YouTube videos. Purely, a lot of customers don't want you record it, and there's a lot of operators that so it is difficult to definitely do long form. We're going to end it with I'm going to give you a brand versus.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So I don't know if you've seen this before. Would you rather do about fuseboards or hand tools? So basically, have you ever seen footballers who it'd be like Messi, Ronaldo, you've got to pick one and then you move on to the next one?
Right, okay.
So would you rather do it about hand tools or fuse boards?
Let's go hand tools.
Hand tools, right, okay. So I'm going to say two brands, you've got to say which one you prefer and then I'll go on to the next one, right? And we're going to end up where we see. So here we go. So you've got Draper or Bacco?
Bacco.
Bacco or CK?
Bacco.
Bacco or Stanley?
Bacco.
Bacco or Irwin?
I'd say Bacco, I think.
I love a bit of Bacco. Bacco or the Milwaukee hand tools? You've seen them more recently?
Yeah. Well, from an electrical point of view, though, I'd be into Milwaukee, though.
Oh, we're on to Milwaukee or Nipex?
Nipex.
Nipex or Wehat?
You can't give a tie, can you? That's
a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, we has got. I think weir is where I started really, but it's I think Nipex has come through with some of the innovations and so on lately, the pliers, wrenches and those sort of things made it. I'll probably go Weha.
Oh. All right, here's a good one. Weha or Weira?
Yeah, I'm Weira now.
Yeah, Weira. All right, we got one more. Weira or Klein?
Oh, Weira.
Yeah, Weira takes it then. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, should we just do the Fuseboards ones for the sake of it?
Yeah,
Go on.
go on.
So you get it now.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So Luden or BG?
BG.
Oh, BG or Ilex?
I'd say BG.
Ooh, BG or Chint?
BG.
BG or MK?
MK.
MK or Fusebox?
Fusebox.
Fusebox or Schneider?
Schneider.
Schneider or Crabtree?
Schneider.
Schneider or ABB?
Schneider.
Schneider or Hager?
Hager.
Oh, that one gets me. Hager or Navitas? I gotta get him in.
I know, Navitas. It's definitely on the radar. It's going to be worth a try.
Yeah. Right, yeah. So that's it. That's a bit of fun.
Awesome.
No, I appreciate you coming on. I would say shout out your socials, but we need to get them started up. So. But no, cool. Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
All right.
Welcome back, guys. I got some new guests and they're going to introduce themselves. I haven't met them yet, so go for it. Tell us what you do.
Cool. So hi, I'm Isaac Penfold from Penfold Electrical, and I've got my colleague.
Yeah, I'm Jamie. I'm his geriatric apprentice.
So obviously you run your own business. Are you domestic, commercial?
Yeah, domestic, mostly, a little bit of commercial, but that's majority what I do, mostly house bashing really.
Yeah, do you enjoy that though?
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, I do enjoy it. I like sort of getting it just right for the customer. I'm a bit of a perfectionist.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Go on then, you're bound to have customer nightmare stories.
Yeah, sometimes the budget runs out or, expectations aren't exactly, people don't know what goes into construction. I'm sure you've had it before being an electrician.
Yeah, I suppose you get in every industry, someone's not happy.
Yeah.
But have you ever had like a nightmare customer where it's just like the job's just gone wayward?
I think I've had one where the project's sort of gone on for about like 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah, they've sort of like ran out of money, massive job. That's probably the worst one I've had.
Yeah. Was you getting paid through stages or was it?
It was just on a day rate pretty early on, maybe one of the first jobs I took on actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, sort of like looking back at drawings I've done years ago and kind of trying to scratch your head, because I've slept since then or got bigger jobs on.
4 years ago, wondering where that cable is.
Yeah.
I still don't think that one's finished yet, is it?
It's not. No. But
Really?
hopefully they don't call me up. I'm busy.
Have you both been qualified long? Are you both different in when you qualified, or?
Yeah, so I'm not fully qualified yet. So I'm basically retraining. It's a transition phase for me. So I've started working with Isaac on a part-time thing. So I was working one day a week at first, and then it's kind of ramping up. So I'm working 3 days a week with him.
Yeah.
I have another commitment, another small business as well. But it's kind of me retraining, and it's a new thing for me. I'm jumping into the industry.
What was you doing before? Do you mind talking about it? Or?
Yeah, so I've still got a small business in Cornwall. It's a tourism business.
Okay.
It's a cycle hire at the start of the Camel Trail.
All right.
So
that's different.
Yeah. So it was a family business that I kind of took on, and I've always been friends with him. Actually, he used to work for me when he was a lot younger.
Oh, is it?
So that's kind of where we kind of knew friends of the family for a long time. But we always used to talk about things, and I used to talk about his work to me a lot, and he obviously saw there was an interest there from me, and I've always been fairly sort of handy and into like just tools and quite technical with electronics, and there was a crossover there, and Isaac was like, well, he was getting busy, and he needed some help at first, and it's gone from there really. And
Is that where you think you want to go? So you're going to try and juggle the both businesses, or is it just going to try and move it on to just being solely electrician?
yeah, eventually it'd be nice to be fully qualified, and Isaac wants to sort of like going forward take on bigger projects and kind of scale up the business there. But it's all a transitional thing at the minute where just kind of see where it goes.
Yeah, that's good. Are you both doing much renewables? Is that kind of the direction you're heading in with renewables, or you find it too difficult in the market to compete in, really?
Yeah, I work with some roofers, and I've done some. Usually, it's like sort of fresh roof and like new panels and that sort of thing. But I'm looking at getting to MCS, sort of maybe next year, that sort of thing. But the construction side has just been so busy.
Yeah.
It's sort of a lot to even just keep my head above water with sort of standard work, but I think it's a bit of chicken and egg, like sort of when do you sort of jump into that. So I think I'm interested, but I think as Jamie comes on, we can balance the business and a little bit more of the some of the domestic bits that's sort of manageable for Jamie as he's
because it kind of works for both of us, and the flexibility from Isaac definitely works for me, but it kind of works for rather than him just take on a full-time apprentice that he kind of has to look after and baby for a bit. I feel I'm a little bit better than that.
Yeah, I think sometimes there'll be days where somebody's just watching you over your shoulder. It's nice to have somebody that's a bit older and switched on.
Sure. Yeah, I know what you mean. How do you find so I've worked with my mate in the past, and we argued quite a lot. How do you find working together as if you're friends as well? Is that difficult, or do you balance it quite well?
I think Jamie's really probably patient with me, to be honest. I'm maybe a little bit more I think maybe being a business owner, I'm a bit more maybe cutthroat, or we've got to get this job done, that sort of thing. But I think Jamie's just really understanding, has been a good trainee, so he'll listen to what I say if I've got a sort of critique. But I think if you're good friends, then you can kind of have no ego with each other, and then sort of get the best job. I think
I think our personality kind of complement each other in that I might be a bit more chilled out, but Isaac kind of brings a bit more urgency and nudges me to kind of be a bit more proactive with what I'm doing and what I'm doing with my career and training and where we're going, and that's why he's doing so well now is it's kind of driving his business in that way. It's a little bit of chalk and cheese. But they complement each other.
I think if you've got the same mindset, it really helps. Yeah. But if you've got, my friend, he turns up where he wants to get the job done and kind of go home. I need to get in a particular way, I need to do that. So that's where it was causing...
That's where we're kind of the same, is we both are very particular and only want to do
a good job. Yeah, so I think that works well. So as long as you're both in the same
quite attention to detail.
Yeah.
Which kind of with everything, keeping things clean. We're both tool snobs, if you will. We enjoy the kind of the better products and kind of talking about... Well, even talking to Will at Navtest there, it's I could tell that both of us kind of appreciate all those little attention to detail.
Yeah, we're fresh off the Nipex stand.
What challenges are you facing at the minute in the electrical industry, in your business, and just in general, are you finding?
I think there's a big one for the VAT threshold and that sort of thing. We're juggling that at the minute and just trying to think of what makes sense for the business and what makes sense for Jamie sort of coming up. So I think there can be a lot of red tape. I've found a lot of electricians aren't the best business owners, when I'm speaking to sort of friends and that sort of thing, because I don't think anyone teaches you how to sort of run a business.
No, definitely.
But, perhaps somebody's shown you how to do electrical work, but that's not the same as actually running a profitable business. You can be very busy, but not actually, you can be wasting a lot of time. So I think that's the main challenge for me at the minute. I'm sort of just need to speak to a good accountant, that sort of thing.
I like to think that's another thing that maybe I bring a little bit of it, because I've sort of running a business at the minute. We can talk about those things as well. It's not as if I'm just the employee that I don't care sort of thing.
You bring more to the business than just a trainee.
Because we can sort of discuss things, and I can maybe Isaac can ask me things about things maybe that I've experienced with my business, And so again, that kind of complements that a bit, I think. I like to think so, anyway.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you've got a good little team going. To be honest, sounds like a good crack. I got some questions. Well, have you ever seen the things on like TikTok and stuff where it's like the winner stays on with? I'm going to do it with brands. Okay, hear me out. It's a good crack. You said your tool snobs and stuff like this. So we'll start off with the tool ones, right? We'll do one each. Who wants to do the tool one? Who wants to do the fuseboard ones?
I'll do the tool one.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, I start off with 2 brands, and then I'll give you another one and another one. And when we get to the end, the winner wins. You see if that makes sense. So let's get straight into it. So hand tool. We start off with Draper or Baco. So we have to pick one.
Baco.
Baco or CK?
CK.
CK or Stanley?
CK.
CK or Irwin?
CK.
Ooh. CK or Milwaukee?
Milwaukee.
Ooh. Milwaukee or Nipex?
Nipex.
Nipex or Weha?
Nipex.
Oh, that's a shout. Nipex or Weera?
Nipex.
Ooh. Got a Nipex lover, yeah?
Yeah.
Nipex or Klein?
Nipex. Right.
Oh, Nipex takes it.
Yeah.
Okay, right, we're ready for fuseboards now?
Yeah,
Luden or BG?
Luden.
Luden or Wilex?
Luden.
Luden or Chint?
Personally, haven't had any experience with Chint, so
Go with Luden on that
Luden,
one.
yeah.
Luden or MK?
Luden.
Luden or Fusebox?
It's got to be Luden.
Ooh. Luden or Schneider?
Again, a lot. It's got to be Luden, just because a lot of the stuff that with Isaac, it's a lot of Luden, a lot of Luden and Fusebox.
So that's what you've used a lot. Okay,
Yeah,
what do I say?
It probably would have been better if Isaac answered the Fuseboard.
Probably, I've probably fit more brands to us, but
Go, I'll do you now in a minute then. So Luden or Crabtree?
Luden.
Luden ABB?
Luden.
Luden Hager?
Again, it's got to be Luden, just because that's kind of what I have experience with. So Luden.
I gotta put this one in. Luden or Navitas?
From just speaking to Will just then.
You don't have to say Navitas.
Well, from what I've seen, they nothing but good things.
Yeah.
What I hear and from what I've seen. So let's go
Give it a go.
Navitas.
Yeah, here we go. Will will be happy. Right, I'll do you now, Isaac, just for the sake of it then.
Yeah.
We'll smash through it. Luden or BG?
Luden.
Luden or Wilex?
Luden.
I should have moved Luden more up the list, I think, shouldn't I? Luden or Shint?
Luden.
Luden or MK?
Luden.
Luden or Fusebox?
Luden.
Luden or Schneider?
Luden.
Luden or Crabtree?
Luden.
Luden or ABB?
Luden.
Luden or Hager?
Luden.
Luden or Navitas?
I think they got something to watch out for, but I'd have to say Luden.
That's fair enough. I don't even think we'll put this in now. It's like a Luden sponsorship. No, it's your own opinion. That's fair enough. No, I appreciate you both coming on. Sounds like you've got a good crack going, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Yeah.
Have you got any socials to shout out or anything?
Yeah, just Penfold Electrical, Instagram and TikTok, and Jamie.
Yeah, it's at OG Electric on Instagram, but you'll find me on Penfold Electrical mainly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Appreciate it, guys. Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
And you.
Nice to meet you.